Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have some pretty messed up news coming out here from Gamestop. Now, if you guys don't know, Gamestop is a nationwide retailer where you guys can go buy and sell games. I hope to God all of you guys watch this video know that. But as of right now, they've been getting a lot of big heat. Now, there's one big story that's been floating around the internet, Reddit, and everything in between on how they basically went and fired someone after literally getting their own stores robbed. There was over like $5,000 of consoles that were stolen, and everything in between. Now, a lot of people at the store, a lot of people on the internet are upset, kind of myself included, but as well, what is with GameStop store is still always getting robbed, and now that by itself alone is just like the third different GameStop story we've heard of them literally getting robbed these past few months. So we're gonna go talk about this, talk about the drama, talk about the walkouts and protests and everything else going on here with GameStop, and as well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow, love to have you guys there, and of course the Target, Amazon links, and everything in between. Make sure you guys check out Amazon too. The God of War is actually now fully on sale console. In case you guys are still missing your PlayStation, use that link down below, and let's dive into the news. So as I mentioned, a lot of you guys probably know GameStop is not necessarily the best place to work at. It's just typical retail, but it's also not necessarily the worst. And well, when you work there, you kind of expect more of a chill, laid back vibe where you just go have people walk in, you tell them about video games, you tell them about pre-orders, and maybe sell some Funko Pops in between. But recently we've been seeing a huge onslaught of GameStop stores getting robbed, and we think it might be just because all PlayStations, all Xboxes, all these consoles that are now finally showing up more in stores are very easy to resell. And I think that's why a lot of these big box retailers are kind of getting targeted, especially GameStop. As I mentioned, we've seen like 3 or so different stores go and basically get robbed just in the past few months alone. But this one's a little bit more different, because after this robbery, there's even more worse repercussions that GameStop, for whatever reason, want to dive into. So we've been seeing this floating around. We even have Kotaku itself reporting on it, where GameStop managers are fired after $5,000 PS5 robbery. Working conditions continue to deteriorate at the internet's favorite meme stock. Now, like I said, GameStop's not necessarily known as the best place to work, but it's also not necessarily the worst. But I'm just so appalled that GameStop literally fired someone who just got robbed. Like, the store just got robbed. If anything, if I had a manager and they just got like robbed by multiple people and they still are working, I believe in the store, we'll go over in a second, for over 13 years, and they're still showing up to work after all this happened, bro, I'm gonna give that guy a raise. Like, I gotta give that guy some credit. If I'm working at a store and it gets robbed, I'm at a gas station, I'm a Walmart, I'm at Target, whoever it might be, boys, I'm quitting that job. I'm out. Like, I'm not dealing with that. So this is why I think a lot of folks are gonna get outraged. So only one person was on shift, which was by itself to work a full retail store on your own. Good luck with that. Good golly Jesus at GameStop. This is over at GameStop in Easton, PA, when 2 men tried to rob it as of last month. Outnumbered and told to put his hands up, a newer employee backed off as the thieves unloaded $5,000 worth of PlayStation 5s from the back room. A week later, GameStop allegedly fired the 13-year-old veteran manager of the store over the theft itself, leading several other employees to reportedly quit in protest. For some of them, it encapsulates just how screwed up GameStop has become as it scrambles to survive in the age of digital gaming. Now, that's a lot to unpack as of there. Number one, why is there only one person working on shift? Number two, why did this person get fired from their store literally getting robbed? Like, we always know these big box chain retailers have like insurances, and it's not worth it to lose your life over, number one, a retail job, and number two, only worth $5,000 worth of consoles. And obviously, it's kind of weird too. We're seeing a very large uptick of random thieves for some odd reason stealing consoles. Now, as I mentioned, it's kind of easy to sell. Like, if you had $5,000 worth of PS5s, and they are more readily available showing up in GameStop stores or behind the counters or whatever, in theory, you could probably sell that stock very quickly, and you could probably get it all gone by that same day, especially if you sold it for like $450, Facebook Marketplace. Like, you could probably sell almost all these consoles probably within the first like day, and then it's harder for cops to go make the reports and find the stolen goods. And I mean, if you somehow get out of it, it actually might be a really good deal. So according to the Colonial Regional Police Department and apparent store surveillance footage uploaded on Imager, 2 men entered the store, posing as customers and asked about buying a PS5. The GameStop employee on shift at the time then went and opened the door into the back room where the pricey and highly sought after PS5 consoles were kept. With the door unlocked, the two men then followed him in and threatened him. So basically, the issue over here too is the fact of like, they're in the back room because they're expensive. You meant to ask. We have this like shortage going on. Employees, whatever. It's like people have to ask. You got to just be careful. Like, you don't want to get robbed like this is going on over here. But at the same time, if you're like, two of these guys are looking threatening, they're showing up in the store, bro, like I said, like, I'm not losing my life. I don't want to deal with this hassle for $5,000 worth of PlayStations that I don't even own, as we have GameStop stores, like they have insurance for a reason. So while neither of them produced a visible gun, Deputy Michael Munch told Kotaku that the employee was told to put his hands up and that he wouldn't get hurt if he didn't move. One of the men then carried stacks of PS5s out of the store, while the second stayed behind to watch the employee themselves. Eventually, they shut the employee in the storage room and then left the store with a total of 10 PlayStation 5s that are roughly around $5,000. See, and this is why like it's even weirder, because this person literally clearly was threatened. Like, we're seeing these managers over on top of this stuff. Like, we're seeing these people like they're in a bad situation. So what are you supposed to do? Now, I do believe in the next sentence they say the manager wasn't actually present for the incident or whatever, though. Like, what is he also supposed to do? You have the employee. I think I'd rather the employee not like lose his life and like take the consoles. You're GameStop. You're chill. You have insurance. It's fine. Like, no one wants to deal with this. No one wants to have to file police reports or lose $5,000. But like, that's why you have insurances. That's why you're a big business. You write this off. So basically, the manager in charge of the store, who wasn't present for the incident, was fired then a week and a half later. The man was the most tenured and the top performer in the district, one former colleague said in a phone interview. The dude bent over backwards for this company, said one current employee. While Kotaku was unable to get in contact with the fired manager directly, 3 current and former GameStop employees from the area said he had told them that the robbery was the reason the company gave him when he was fired. As a result, they said all but 2 employees at the store put in their 2 weeks notice or quit on the spot. GameStop has not yet to respond to this comment. And this is why it's messed up. I mean, obviously, there's always that small chance for something else. Obviously, they could have maybe said something bad or maybe overly complained about, like, the issues, the stores, whatever. But at the same time, if this was actually why this whole drama happened, if it's true, I mean, there's always a chance. Like, it seems like it might be. Then that's awful for GameStop. Now, like I said, there's always that off chance there could be something else involved or whatever. We don't always fully know. But it does seem a little bit too closely timed, with multiple people vouching for them and also literally quitting their job on the spot. That kind of goes to show that they probably were a good manager, and that's kind of rare in the retail world. So in a Reddit post about the incident, some current and former employees speculated that the manager may have technically been fired over a breach of store procedures during the robbery, which once again, I think that's the last thing anyone should have to worry about over here, because I'd rather someone have their life and GameStop lose a bit of money than someone literally die and then have GameStop save, and realistically probably still lose the money at the end of the day, but maybe save $5,000, So the standard procedure is to first ring up expensive consoles at the register and record their serial numbers in a notebook to ensure that payment is received before the hardware is retrieved from the storage room. Though it's not clear what might have happened to what have been done to deter 2 potentially armed robbers, regardless, many considered it outrageous that the store manager would be fired over the incident. One former employee recalled 2 clerks who were killed at a Funko Land on the other side of the state border with New Jersey back in 2002. Now, I'm in the same boat. Like, what are you supposed to do? You have 2 people that are clearly robbers because they robbed the guy, like they robbed the store. What are they supposed to do? What are your employees supposed to do? If you're a manager, I would say this is a good manager, because whatever the employee did made sure that they were alive. And they may have lost consoles. Yeah, it's an extra paperwork. Yeah, it's annoying. But I'd rather have my employee be alive than dead. And I'd also rather GameStop go and like kind of appreciate the fact that you have a good manager. It's a bad situation. The only real culprit in this whole situation that's bad is the robbers, not the employees, not the manager. And funny enough, not even GameStop itself, besides them, acting inappropriately on this manager and firing them. Like, that's who should be taking the blame. So despite its logic defying meme stock, GameStop has still continued to lay off employees amid routine disappointing quarterly sales reports and stalled efforts to pivot to a new business. So that's kind of a big issue here too, because, well, a lot of folks are just not happy to see this. So all they said, there's all these problems over here were on display on this store that were being mentioned. Some current and former employees say, and the store's manager reward for sticking it out was just getting canned a couple weeks before his first meme stock bonus would have vested. It's just setting people up for failure, when former employees told Kotaku. $100 million spent on NFTs instead of vesting the people doing the work for you as well. And this is why it's sad, because there's controversy, there's retail controversy, and at the end of the day, this guy got literally fired because his store got robbed, and some folks want to steal some PlayStation consoles. So it's a little bit of a sad story nonetheless, but give me your thoughts and comments down below. We also have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below, we have the Target links down below, check in the Amazon links for the brand new God of War, all fully on sale. Of course, we also just, if you guys want to hang out and subscribe, we'd love to have you on the YouTube channel itself.